Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo, and boy do I have just a gorgeous bundle of loveliness to share with you today. I am of course here to do a flip through of my winter rose journal, which I've been doing sort of part on camera, part off. I've tried to do the bigger pieces with you, and it's ready to go off to its new home. So let me take you through everything. So the journal has a wedding romantic kind of a vibe and a theme. So with the journal, just as an accompaniment to it, is this vintage brooch. I don't know the age of it, but being a silver rose, it just very much went with the sort of the theme of the journal. And of course, I've been very much inspired by the kit that I've been working with. I believe the kit's from Sweet Vintage Prints. It is linked below if you'd like to check it out. Anyway, this is a vintage brooch, and if someone is going to use this for a wedding kind of a thing, then I thought maybe this could be there's something old, or they can just admire it for what it is. Okay, so the closure is removable. It's this sort of sheer kind of a fabric, which reminded me of a wedding veil. And really the closure forms part of the cover as well, with this nice great big bow that is very much the focal point once it's all closed together. Because the fabric is sheer, it is going to fray, and just to help stop the fraying a little bit, and also to bring some gold and sparkle, I've actually edged the material just with some gold sari fabric. Now I'm not a seamstress, so it is done fairly roughly, but it just it gives in some colour, some sparkle, and of course helps with the fraying. Okay, so as I say, the whole closure is removable, so we'll just pop that off to one side. And this is how we look without the big bow. Still gorgeous, right? So I have done most of the cover with you. So what we have is the whole journal is made from a piece of sparkly felt. So if you can see just behind there, if I remove this, can you see that sort of sparkliness? Yeah. That is the felt with some lace over the top, just to fancy it up, really. So across the cover we've got some this pocket in the front. So this is made from some trim that my husband's great aunt sent me, and then I've just adorned it with this white applique, and it just gives it this really beautiful cascading loveliness, and it's so soft and textural. And it's a wedding journal, so of course we have to be extra. To add even more stuff to it, I've glued on this gem, and then I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera, but can you see here? And I've added some beads. They're iridescent beads that I got from BB Craft, and I've just popped them in the middle of those flowers. They are hand stitched on. So yeah, just to I felt like it finished off the flowers a little bit, even if it's not completely in your face. So of course, being a pocket in the front, we've got this vintage, possibly also antique, I'm not sure, but it's a wedding postcard, and it's someone wishing their cousin Annie a happiness on their day, and of course it's got a poem on the front. So of course, being a pocket, it's removable, so if you don't want that in there, then of course you can replace that with something else. Just to show you the back, the lace continues across that felt, and then the lace that I've got that covers the binding, that just comes over the side as well. So very, very classic and elegant on the back, but just as beautiful, I hope you'll agree. Okay, are you ready to take a peek inside? Okay, so what do we have here? So we've got a vintage doily, which I've sewn onto the cover as a sort of side tuck, side pocket kind of a thing. And then wherever I've used lace in the journal, it is all vintage. So I've, apart from on the cover, but inside it's all vintage, again coming from my husband's great aunt. Some of it's Victorian, some of it's Edwardian, so yeah, quite old. Anyway, we've just got this ruffle down the side just to finish that edge off. Tucked inside the doily pocket, we've got this journal belongs to note paper from the kit for some extra journaling, and you know, if somebody wants to claim the journal as their own. We've got this Regency style letter made with parchment paper and a wax seal on the front. I have done a tutorial on how I make these. So it's a letter and an envelope in one. So we fold it out, and as you can see, we get all of this extra journaling space front and back. So lots of space to write. And then tucked in there as a sort of, well, it's not really a surprise anymore, is it? But tucked in there for someone to find is just this small journal card that I've made from a page in the kit. It's on card, and it's just plain on the back for a bit of writing, or they can use it in their projects or whatnot. So as you can see, that just tucks up into that little flap. And we have a letter envelope. Tucked in there, we also have this Advice to the Bride card. These actually came from my hen party. My sister made everyone fill one of these out for me. This was just a spare, so this is sort of my attempts at sort of sharing stuff with whoever wants to possibly buy the journal. Again, if they are going to use it as a wedding kind of a thing. But of course, you know, the wedding elements, they are removable. So if someone doesn't want to use it for that purpose, you know, they don't have to. Sort of dragging the dragging everything towards me. Okay, so we've got the title kit page as the cover there, with this again vintage lace down the side. Some writing paper from the kit. This is some vintage wallpaper. I do sell scraps of this on my Etsy shop, but I've used a larger piece here as a page. But just how gorgeous and how perfect does this wallpaper go with everything that I'm trying to achieve with this. You know, we've got the pink roses, we've got the gold, we've got the very fancy elegance that I am trying to get with this one. Okay, so I've got this clip on the side here because the back of the wallpaper does fold out all the way for this extra journaling, but if you fold it over like this, it is a tuck spot as well with that clip in, and you know, it gives this nice border down the side there. Tucked in, we've got some, this is a scrap from some antique ledger, from, I think it's 1905 or 1904. This is a, you know, it was a bit ratty-tatty, but I just thought that the script was very interesting, and of course the back is completely plain, so, you know, someone can use that either in the journal, in their projects, for writing space, all different kinds of a thing. And then we've got this memories card. This comes from a paper pad that I've got. Excuse me. The name escapes me right now, but if I can find the name of it, I will put the details down below. So I've just backed it with some pretty pink, pale pink paper. You'll have to excuse my throat today. I do have quite a bit of a cough, so excuse me if I'm coughing and a bit husky today. Okay, so we've got a paper doily here, which is got roses border, so space to write here. And then over the side, I've just folded the bottom up to make this little tuck spot pocket. And in there, we've got some wedding vellum. So again, this can be removed, it can be used, whatever somebody would like to do with it. And then we've got this Dream Big card in gold. And then backed with some pink paper and then just a little bit of stenciling on the back. The kit pages, I've tried to leave them fairly untouched. You know, there is space to write here, or someone can, you know, do more with the page if they like, but, you know, the images were so beautiful that I just, yeah, I had to leave them untouched. But of course on the back, lots of space to write. I've edged the side here with some page edges that I made on video. So this one is just some laces and some sparkly trim and some eyelash trim, and I've stitched on this snowflake charm. being the winter rose journal, although the winter vibe is very toned down on this one, slash very non-existent, I did want to bring in the snowflakes just here and there for because I was inspired by the name of the kit, so I kind of went with that. Here we've got some antique ledger. Now I have had to use washi down the centre of it because being antique, it is a little bit I wouldn't say fragile, but it just needed a little bit of a help with being stitched through and everything. So we've got the pink washi, and that's got some gold on it to go with the rest of the journal. And of course this folds out, and look at all of this extra journaling space that you've got here. And of course we've got the beautiful cursive writing. Wasn't their penmanship just exquisite in those days? Here we've got some plain parchment paper. And then I've just, this envelope flap is glued all the way down. This came from I have received a Christmas card in this for the Christmas just gone, again with a snowflake, this time in rose gold. I just felt like that whole look just reminded me of wedding stationery, so that's what I went with. And of course there's all this space to journal. I think you can possibly, although the envelope is pearlescent, I'm sure you should be able to write on that as well, or you could, collage there or something. On the back we've got a tag tuck, so tucked into the back we've got some white linen paper which I've stenciled on in Victorian velvet distress ink. A lot of the extra papers I wanted to add, I wanted them to be very much like almost like samples of wedding stationery or something. So there's all this space to write on this, and of course it's got this really lovely linen texture. And of course, you can do more with that. This tag is actually a pocket as well. So we've got some vintage wallpaper down here, which is a little pocket. I did try to show how I was layering things up on a recent video, so do take a look if you'd like to see that. So we've got some more gold wedding vellum tucked in there. Again, it is removable. And then we've just got this little love card, again from a paper pad that I've been using. So I've put a scrap of vintage ledger or antique ledger on the back, and then this, to make some of these tags the other day, I used vintage greeting cards. One of them had "I love you very much" written on the back, so I've just glued that on there as like a little extra for someone to find. I've just got some note paper and stenciling. This is some handmade paper with heart confetti. It's very soft and textural, and it's just, you can see right through to that music sheet, and is it just beautiful. On the back I've just popped this sticker. It says "Romantic, swept up in passion and enchantment." And of course I love that you can see the lines through it. It's really, really lovely and textural. Here we've got some vintage music sheet. I've left this side plain and the other side as well, just because there's lots of space here to write, and of course I did want to leave space for whoever wants to own this journal, for them to put their own spin on it and add to what I've done. Okay, so here we have another kit page. Sorry, you'll really have to excuse my voice today. So this is probably a little bit deceiving to the eye. So this is two different vintage or antique laces, again from my husband's great aunt, but the pocket only goes as far as about here. So what's that, a couple of inches. This one is an illusion. I just wanted to get in some more texture. So we've got the two laces there, and then I've just popped this button cluster on the front, again using some scraps of lace and boho fabric. And then just tucked into there we've got this "Enjoy Today" card, again with gold foiling and backed with pretty pink paper. We've got some vintage lace as a ruffle down the side there, and some space to write. More vintage lace. And then of course this is the centre of the signature. It's simple and it's pretty, but there is another surprise to find. So this opens out, as does this, and then of course you find this heart in the middle, which is stitched in onto the white paper using my sewing machine, but I've also stitched it into the signature itself. So of course, you know, there's all this space to write. All of these are pages. You know, you can write front and back. You can do more with it. There's, you know, plenty of space here. And then of course this heart is part of the signature. So it's just a bit of prettiness to find, but I just thought that was so fun. Had to be done in a romantic journal, huh? Okay, we've got some more vintage lace down there, some more ruffles, lots of ruffles and lace in this journal. Another kit page. Just tucked onto here using a clip. We've got this journal card. So this was a Stamperia journal card, but it had a dragonfly on it. So I've just printed it up with a picture from a book of this beautiful pink rose. We've got a tiny little cluster here with the word love and the butterfly. And of course, the sentiment beauty is in the little things. I had to keep that, so we have this. On the back, we've got some stenciling, and this is beautiful parchment paper. So it feels vintage, but it's not. It's the same paper as in the journal. Okay. On the back here, we've got some more vintage wallpaper, which I've turned into a pocket. So we've got this little cluster detail down here, which is a book page and lace and some sari trim, the word love and a little butterfly. Again, this is another tag that I made on video, or, you know, tried to show you how I was layering different things up. Vintage lace topper and all these pretty fussy cuts, and of course some more sparkly gold. Oh, and then on the back it's just plain white, and then I've just done some stenciling. There's that vintage, well not vintage, there's that handmade paper again. And what I love is, again, you can see through it, and you can just see the roses and the word love and all of that kind of a thing. Love that kind of a look. Here we've got an envelope pocket. I believe I was calling this the Tuxedo envelope pocket. So there's a fair bit going on here. So we've got some snippet trim down here with a wax seal. Tucked into the back, so the whole thing is a pocket. I've just got this white lace doily, paper doily, sorry. You know, you could journal with it, you could use it in a project. I just thought that was very cute, tucked in the back. There is a pocket just there as part of the envelope. So I've got this handmade tag. This is handmade paper, and it's in gold and cream. I didn't make the paper myself, but it is handmade. It's got a really nice texture. And then tucked into that pocket as well, I've got a page from an antique book. This was poems about love. So there's, I believe, 4 poems on there. And it comes from a book called The 1,000 Best Poems in the World. The age of it escapes me, but I'm pretty sure it was the late 1800s. So delicate paper, but beautiful poems to read. And then tucked into the front here, there's another little pocket. I've got a clock that comes from the journal boat. I've backed it onto some scrapbook paper, so that's space to write, or, you know, you could use it in a project, use it in a cluster or something. And then we've got this, this is actually a sticker, the same sticker as the romantic one that I put on the handmade paper, and it's just romantic words, so perhaps the person who wants to use it could use it, use the sticker in some more embellishments and such like, so that just slips in there. Got some stenciling. This was a dust jacket from a vintage book, cut down to size, so this is actually an envelope pocket, and inside the pocket part we've got this little, almost like a notelet from the Stamperia paper pad. And again, there was a dragonfly, so I've put some butterflies on and some flowers, and it says love and joy, which is why I wanted to use it. Inside it's just the Stamperia paper, so lots of space to write, or again, you could turn this into a little mini folio or notebook. But just for the sake of bulk being in this envelope here, I wanted to keep it, you know, fairly simple, but you know, there is space to do more. So that just, oops, slips in there. On the back of the envelope, I've got this sort of page edge decoration that I've turned into a tuck. So this is some music page lace and some sari material. And as you can see, it just gives you this tiny little tuck as well as some interesting decoration on this pearlescent envelope. And just tucked in there, we've got some little mini pages from the kit, the Winter Rose kit that I've been using. There's that beautiful arch, space to write on the back, of course. And we've got this little roses page as well. Again, space to write on the back. Or, you know, you could fussy cut the images and do that kind of a thing. So here's the other side of the antique ledger. So clipped in, I've turned this into a tuck spot with the clip. So, you know, this opens out for all this journaling. It is, you know, pretty plain front and back. And then just tucked in there, I've got this antique check. So this comes from 1886. And of course, you know, colours wise, went perfectly. And we've got some beautiful flowers along here as well. And this check it's for £2, 14 shillings and a threepence, which, you know, in those days would have been quite a bit of money. So I wonder whether it was related to some land or something. There's the other kit page writing spot. There's this beautiful arch, and because the size of the journal is a little bit narrower than I'm used to, I did have to chop the pages in a certain way. So just to disguise that, we've got some more of this lace and eyelash trim with another snowflake charm that I've stitched on. And as you can see, that just kind of disguises this the way that it was chopped, really. So it's still a beautiful image, I hope, and still space to write and decorate up further. Here's the other side of the doily. This one is glued into this sort of very slim pocket, and in there excuse me, in there is this this comes from a vintage greeting card. Excuse me, sorry, I just had a slight tickle. So yeah, this comes from a vintage greeting card, and of course it's this beautiful pink rose, and it's actually got some specks of silver on there, so very much winter rose. Lots of space to write front and back, and I think it just looks absolutely beautiful, just tucked into that little little pocket, just the rose peeking out. Lots of space to write on the back there. Here's the other side of the vintage wallpaper. Again, lots of space to write, and there's that beautiful, beautiful pattern again. Now this is, you know, it's fairly thin wallpaper, so I don't think it will take a big pocket. But you might want to add something, or you just want to appreciate all of those beautiful colours. Of course, you could write down here, you know, there's various things. Some more note paper, and there's this beautiful house as the final kit page, which I just, yeah, really says wedding to me. And we've got some vintage lace just down the spine section there. So, you know, it is fairly chunky with all the extra details I've added, but yeah, it's just there's lots of loveliness I had to include, so I hope you'll forgive that. And I've done this on video just yesterday, actually. So this is a book page and a junk mail envelope layered up into, you know, a multi-pocket tuck space kind of a thing. So as I say, I have done this on video just to show you how I've layered everything up, but we've got lots of butterflies, this rose, the word happiness. It's French book page from a romantic story. So you just get a glimpse of that really just there. Tucked into the pocket, I've got this little scrap from a vintage greeting card. Again, it was a wedding anniversary. You know, you could use this in some collaging. You could write on the back of it. You could just read the poem. These come from a kit by Collage Type. She's on Etsy, and this comes from her Cottage Rose kit. I will link it down below for you. So these are journal cards cut down to size, so they'll fit in the pocket for, you know, for this. And I've printed them onto linen effect paper. So it gave them this really gorgeous, bright, kind of a colour, but still, you know, it feels very vintage at the same time. And I've just left them plain white on the back, so you know, there's journaling space there. But how gorgeous are those images? Just went perfectly with, you know, everything that I was trying to achieve with this journal. Okay, there's another of the clocks by the Journal Boat. And of course, it'd be rude not to. The junk mail envelope is, you know, it was framed in the window just there. We've got some book page. This comes from a diary entry, or a replica diary entry about Valentine's Day, actually. Tucked into the envelope, there's this journal card. This is a page from the Winter Rose kit that I've cut down to size and backed with some scrapbook paper. And then we've got some sari trim as the tag topper. It is all stitched around. This is very much stitched on there. Isn't that gorgeous with the sparkliness? I haven't layered up anything onto the tag. This imagery was just too gorgeous, and you know, being an envelope, there's only so much space in there for, you know, how thick or how chunky the tag was going to be. So that just sits in there. Of course, to mirror the front, we've got some more vintage lace ruffle, and then I thought the page didn't have enough butterflies, so I've got this little charm. This actually came to me from Camellia Crafts Designs. It was a little freebie in a purchase I got from her shop, and we're just on a bulb pin. So, you know, you could unhook this and use this in different things, or you could just leave it on there for a bit of loveliness. And that's everything. That is my Winter Rose journal, and I love it. So I hope you do as well. This will be in my Etsy shop within the next couple of days, but if anyone is interested in it before then, please let me know, because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm very happy to give you first dibs on it. So yeah, just shoot me a message, send me an email, find me on Facebook, Instagram, I'm everywhere. So, you know, feel free to message me if you are interested. Otherwise, it will be in my Etsy shop, you know, by Wednesday, probably, you know, fairly soon, I imagine. But yeah, I'll give it a couple of days just in case anyone watching this video right now wants it. So, of course, if it has sold, I will mark it as sold in the title. So yeah, that's everything. As I say, I have done some of the bigger parts of the journal on video with you. I didn't do the whole thing because I was on a bit of a time crunch to get it finished, because I wanted it ready for Valentine's Day. Believe it or not, I didn't plan to do the flip through on Valentine's Day itself. It just really lucked out like that. But you know, yeah, I hope you like the journal. I love it. I would say that, of course. But I genuinely really do. I mean, it's just lots of lace, lots of beautiful gorgeousness, really. So yeah, that is the journal. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Happy Valentine's Day, however you're choosing to spend it, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, morning, evening. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.